Hi, it's Jamie from Gilbert Farm, and I'm going to share with you 5 of my money-saving beauty tips. Beauty is such a weird phenomenon, don't you think? I mean, for centuries, people, in particular women, have done things to make themselves more beautiful. You look back at the Egyptians and they had their charcoal eyes, or you look at the Georgians who had powdered faces and bright rosy cheeks and powdered wigs. Or you go to the 20s where women had thin dark red lips and short hair and androgynous bodies. Or the 30s and 40s where women had bright red lips and bright big giant curls. And then so on and so forth. At the 60s, 70s, 80s, it seems like every decade there's a new trend when it comes to beauty, whether it be the hair or makeup or something else. And it wasn't until that I started having girls and they started asking questions about beauty and we started defining what beauty is that I started really thinking about it, and honestly it just doesn't make any sense. Why are we as a society following these trends, and who's setting these trends, and who is this person that is defining what is considered beautiful? And we're spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars doing it. I stopped doing it. I stopped doing it years ago. And that doesn't mean that I still don't do beauty things or beauty treatments, but I definitely don't go overboard in trying to fit any kind of modern trend. So I'm going to share with you 5 things that I've done over the years that have saved me a significant amount of money. And for better or for worse, these are my beauty tips. Okay, so some people might not think of razors as a beauty tip, but if you're part Wookiee like me, then yeah, razors are definitely considered a beauty tip. I used to spend somewhere in the vicinity of $1.50 to $2.50 per razor because I bought disposable razors previously. Now, since then, I've switched over to one of these types of razors. It's a Merkur it's a German razor, and you replace just the blade whenever you want to replace the blade. And that is these, and they cost less than 24 cents per blade. Now there is a little bit of a learning curve with these, so you might want to add on some cut rescue or some band-aids to that as well. But excellent razor. I won't go with anything else. Makeup. Oh my God, I used to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on makeup. The best brands, MAC in particular. I probably had half of every single color that MAC carries at one point. I had a train case full of makeup. Did it make me look any better? Was one shade of brown different from another shade of brown? No, it wasn't. And I was just spending ridiculous amounts of money on it. So what did I switch over to? I'm going to show you everything in my makeup case. I have a cover-up, an eyeliner, concealer, and a blush. That's it. And I only use this when I'm doing video because it makes editing for my husband a lot easier. Skin products. Yes, I fell for the whole Lancome thing and anti-wrinkle cream and anti-dark circle under the eye thing and this and that, all to try and improve my complexion and make it shinier, make it better. No. Let me tell you, first-hand experience, what I discovered is you don't need all that stuff. The main thing that you need, the main thing that will make your complexion look good is what you put inside your body. And that means fresh fruit and vegetables, because what you eat is reflected on your skin. So if you see someone with poor skin, chances are they have a poor diet. You're eating a lot of processed foods, it's going to show and be reflected in your skin. Now, what do I use? I just use a face wash, and this is actually a nail brush, but I use this as a skin brush. So I brush off dead skin and it polishes the skin. That is all that I use. Now, I do use a homemade deep cleaner once a week, and what I do is I mix equal parts of salt and baking soda and a little squirt of this, mix it all up, apply that as a paste to my face, leave it sit for about 5 minutes and rinse it off, scrub it off, and that's my face rinse. Tip number 4, teeth whiteners. I spent, oh God, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on buying, say, the Crest white strips whitening strips. I think they're like 40 some dollars a box. And yeah, I was using them all the time, and I do not use them anymore. What do I use instead? I'm going to show you. Baking soda and lemon. That's all you need. You make a paste out of this, put it on your teeth, leave it on for about 5 minutes, and you brush it off. Now, the lemon, what this does is it will sort of eat away at that stain, and the baking soda helps it scrub it off. Yes, this does work. Hair products. Oh my God, I used to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars buying hair products, and I thought the ones from the salon were better than ones you could get from, say, Walmart or Target or another big box store. I bought shine spray and hair paste and styling glue and hairspray, fancy hairsprays, medium, light, heavy hold, and oh gosh, just tons and tons and tons of hair products. I literally at any one given time had at least 20 bottles or 20 containers in my bathroom cabinet. And the money that was sunk into those was absurd. And you know what? It did not make my hair any better by using those expensive products. All it did was eat away at my wallet. What do I use now? You guys are gonna laugh, but I use sugar spray. Now this is something that women in the 1920s used to do to set their pin curls. All it is water and sugar. It's practically free. And yes, it does work. And no, I've not had any issues with mosquitoes or additional issues with mosquitoes because I use it. It absolutely does work. And you can make it stronger by adding more sugar or weaker by using less. I'll show you how to make it. You take about 1.5 cups of hot water and you add 2 tablespoons of sugar. Stir to dissolve. And then you just pour it into any bottle that you want. Now, if you want, you can also add some essential oils to give it some scent if you like. This works amazingly well, and it's practically free. And the only thing that I would say is if you do add too much, you can have glazed hair at some point. Finally, my last tip, and this is one that some of you may not like, but my last tip and things that I do for beauty products is I don't use services anymore. That means pedicures, which run somewhere around $35 plus tip. Nope, I do them at home. Eyebrow waxing. Nope, do it at home. Manicures, $15 plus tip. Nope, do them at home. And here's the big one. Haircuts. Around here, to get someone fresh out of school to cut your hair, it's about $29 plus tip. To get some medium person to cut your hair, $49. The average in this area is $69 for a haircut plus tip. That's a haircut. That's not color. That's nothing else. That's a haircut. Look, that's fantastic. Hairdressers, I'm all for them. I'm absolutely all for them. I think they're wonderful, but I can't afford it. I just can't. So yes, my last tip is services. I do them all myself, and that includes cutting my own hair. Watch a YouTube video. There's tons of them out there. They'll teach you how to cut your own hair. And yes, you're gonna screw up. There is a learning curve to it. There was a continual learning curve, especially if you're doing your own hair and you have to cut your back and you can't get your spouse to cut your hair because he's afraid he's gonna lop it all off, and you have to do it yourself with a mirror. You're gonna make mistakes. You do a little bit at a time so that if you do make a mistake, it's only a little mistake and you're not lopping off 6 inches and you end up with a mohawk. Ask me how I know this. So that's my last tip. Do your own services at home. You're gonna save a ton of money. You don't need to be going out and doing that and spending money, and then 4 to 6 weeks later, you have to do it again. So those are my 5 beauty tips. If you guys have any additional beauty tips and ways to save money, feel free to leave those below. I want to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, leave those below as well. I'm not an expert in all this stuff, just telling you what I do and how I save money. And if you guys like this kind of stuff, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Whether you shave or not, yeah, it actually matters if you shave or not. Because if you don't shave, then you don't need a razor. Okay.